Greetings, I'm Mike Check Writer, and today we'll be covering, well, the Thanksgiving 2024 gift shop, which basically dropped a few days ago, and this is basically the last cryptic thing we're going to get forever. Last big cryptic thing ever. But anyway, we're covering the Nagus Marauder. We're going to be doing a bit of a weird one. I'm going to be basically doing a budget build and review, and this is about our Prophet on the Wind. And yes, you can hear the Prophet on the Wind. That's actually a quote from Legend of the Ferengi, I believe. Okay, this is the Nagus Marauder. This is a upgraded version of the standard Ferengi Marauder, and this was updated for this particular variant was updated on the 26th of November 2024 on PC. This is the Nagus Marauder with the gold-plated skin is now available for free for a limited time on PC 6th of November to the 10th of December 2024. Console the 3rd of December to the 17th of December, so you've got not much long to get these. This update massively improves the ship and helps it survive in today's power creep versus when it was released in 2016. So let's cover some of the things now. I'm going to be quite quickly and saying that we have budget builds, and I didn't even bother to create the typos again. Yeah, this pretty much left it from last time we had a budget build, and basically the budget builds were quite simple. I try to avoid adding additional C-store purchases where possible. Yes, additionals, and I try and usually put my day put an approximate age of a character who have just hit level 65, and this is going to be a lot. I'm going shooting through this, but I usually try and put some things around this to make it a lot easier. I will point out that since this is the first time we've actually going to be using a day one build. Day one builds are for people who just hit level 65 and want to fly the ship right now. Some missions rewards are actually considered, and this is the first time we've actually had to cover this, because I'm usually using the day 14 and 20s. I usually use the start of the Solonate Sphere act as the cut-off point, because you usually hit level, usually hit the level around that time. All the items you can, all the items I will cover if I was to cover it. We'll come from the drops are crafted, and I will point out most of the bridge officers are going to be limited to rank 1 and 2 with no specializations for various reasons. And in a few times, which won't be the case here, prohibited items that are known to be available for a character can be used if they're. But that's usually for. That's not for this case. Now, yeah, day 14 basically allows me to use some more stuff, but I know they aren't bothered for this one. But basically, anything I have for day 1 now I can now reuse for day 30, and I usually will make everything progress on in a line. So basically, this is basically how I add some of the more good stuff to it after 30 days of building up your ship, building up some reputations, and all mission rewards are available at day 30. And I've now, again, everything from day 30 can be used on day 60, and I can now use some of the various. I can use all reputations stuff besides some tier 6 only, some tier 6 competitive stuff for various reasons. And I've also decided to make it so that you can actually use the rank 3 bridge officers stuff Yeah, I forgot to correct that typo because. Anyway, day 90 again. Just about everything I can get, anything I want to use, I can use here, but no C-Star gear or event gear can be used. And I always have a pay considerations towards the end, which basically is anything that's basically from the C-Star or over previous events. I pretty much I'll get good looking for it, and well, these will often be useful for a build, and I usually don't integrate them to the build unless I'm usually in most cases. And these are usually often parts of the items I use on a regular basis if I do fly it. And ship. Let's start with the ship review. Yeah, and the stuff with it. Yeah. Okay. Why am I going to give so many ratings? Well, I'm going to because we're going to have basically each ship has multiple parts. The ship itself and its seating. This is pretty much, you can't change this once you get it, unless you're Cryptic or Decker. Any included console item is going to be given a quick its own rating on its own, and the starship trip. For the most part, all three parts can be used independently of the other, so usually one can remove the console from one ship and put it on another. I need a rating for each thing. So I start with the rating is basically S to D basically for it. S is the best. A, B, C, and D. Basically, A's well worth looking at. D, I don't recommend it. But there's an X. Now this is something I'm basically there's sometimes a criteria that basically knocks something out, which basically is the reason why it gets an X. So let's actually look at the actual Nagus itself. Now this is the Nagus stat sheet. Now I have let's remember that this is going to be as it is late 2024, not the original 2016 variant. The mod is considered a battlecruiser in relation to many other races ships. So, and it has the Starship Mastery package. This is basically the 4 tiers of the Mastery package you get on every ship. It picks it just picks the battlecruiser. They pick the battlecruiser boosts for it. This is actually not bad for many users who are going to be playing for the pickup group content or the pub content. Now, for engineering and for tactical consoles, which I should point to, which here is well and truly worth looking at, worth pointing out. Now, this is basically means that we can pick either the tactical consoles or the considering better isomag build. So very, very, very nice for it. The big problem is that there's a lack of a 5th console slot in for either the engineering or tactical slot, which does limit the ship to some degree, but not that much. With the engineering command seat, the command ability is in my opinion helps gives it some basically forces is a lot better for the stuff. You can have a lot more abilities at the very top end, because I really do not like having to use some certain abilities I don't in that top slot. And I've got to mention that this is equivalent of a fleet level ship, and so it's pretty strong. I've given it an A because I don't think it's really a meta defining one, but it's a definitely good ship for being effectively free. So moving on to the console. This is the Universal Console. but Battle Module 4000, and I've given it next. I'll explain why that later. This console's got the 2% critical chance, which is slight increase, and a 10% accuracy rating, which is pretty okay. It's when you pick it up, it has three abilities. One was called EMP Burst, which reduces reduces all subsystems against an enemy and transfer it to you. And it's probably out all the back. So there's also a transform ship button, which allows you to which will disable EMP bursts and gives you swarm missiles instead. The big problem is this console's locked to a Ferengi ship, which is only two of them. This, the Nagus, and another ship called the Nandi. Whilst is technically part of a two-piece set, the other console's locked to a Ferengi ship called the Nandi. So, and since it's an epic Phoenix, since that ship is an epic Phoenix prize, I'm not going to bother with the two-piece bonuses with it, because it's not really worth covering it. Now, due to the transformation aspect of this ship, it has three clickies. So the drain burst is a bit weird. It's somewhat useful with the drain effect. However, what I like to call that tailpipe AoE requires you to actually do some decent flying to get it working effectively. But anyway, so it's a bit of a weird to use, and it requires you good flying skills to actually get it working well. Unlike some other ships, the transform effect doesn't really affect the stats, but it does swap the two skills that it comes with. So the swarm missiles are effectively a big burst of missiles big single burst of missiles for a second for single battles, which isn't particularly brilliant to but and the starship trait, and I've given this D, and you gain one streak breaker counter for 60 seconds. At 5 counters you get to 20 accuracy for 15 seconds, 50% critical severity, which means you hit harder, and 10% critical chance for 15 seconds, and then locks you out from gaining street breaker consoles for 30 seconds. So you're basically, the effect is quite nice, but because it's not they're all somewhat passive effects. They do, once you get those 5 counters, they are decent. Problem is actually most players, especially with decently geared ships, have a problem. And I've actually confirmed this myself. They do not miss. That's right. Because when we get some decent, so basically by the time we get some a good ship built up, this effect becomes a dead weight. I mean, we've got a console on the same ship that comes with the ship that effectively hurts Streak Breaker due to the fact it's got 10% accuracy bonus. Alright, we found out recently that there's a bug within the code that we use to generate our logs, and discovered that it helps trigger the trait a lot better than it previously used to be. So it's actually maybe better, but until we get more information, we're going to leave it as Now, let me cover some things that's going to help out. So let me start with question 1. Thoughts on the build. Now, it's pretty simple. This one is we've got some idea. I've got some ideas when I do it. Unlike other previous ships, there's no requirement to pick a flavour or energy weapon type. Basically, whilst with support for dual heavy cannons, I could focus it to it, but I'm going to lean. I'm half tempted to go to beams. This ship is very, very good with plenty of engineering slots to easily run the dual locks to battery setup, which is somewhat tricky to get going. It's pretty decent to use on this type of ship, and the engineering command is also great for using the ability suppression barrage as well. And the Intel tech slot seems like we could use it to use one of the tactical slots to boost up some stuff as well. And unlike other previous guides, it's the first time actually a day 1 build here being actually working towards what I previously what I normally consider being a day 1 build. Now, budget build. We're getting to build a ship for maybe. Welcome to the Nebula. This is one of the few areas in the game where it looks pretty and it doesn't have lots of flying ships around us. It's perfect for us talking about the ship. Now this is the this Vulcan, which is a nickname of a ship I've got. This is also on my day 90 build. So pretty much a. I mean the two of these pieces of gear. Pieces of gear here would be not included, but basically I'm going to quickly point out some. This is because you can pick any type of weapon type, but you switch stuff around to fit you need. So in my case, I've deliberately gone for the Discovery 2-piece set for the weapon for the tactical console on the wide angle phase being raised. The first are basically decent phases. I mean, mainly what's the prolonged engagement phases available somewhere for it's not. We don't need to cover it too much. And admittedly, I've got some decent got a decent phaser 360 beam kit, but you can use some other kits sets as well. We got gone for some of the standard layout of the Elite Fleet Innovative Protomatic Deflector Color Crit Rain X ×2 EPS, the fortified input engines from the preventing fortified input engines from the competitive research sets and the Discovery Welcome shields and Welcome, but this is not the big thing is here isn't the gear too much other than I'm running the just pure tactical console variant of the build. I could have easily done a engineering console variant of it. Probably got more damage out of it. Alright, where were we? Okay, we need to cover some things that, well, as I said, most of this stuff is stuff because this is a pretty much a experienced character, and I'm deliberately using it as because I need to get something built quickly. So let's start with the universals. I've turned that into a tactical seat, so that's torpedo spread 1 and beta 1. Beta 1 is pretty much a nice debuff you can apply to anyone. And your Intel tactical, that's going to be tactical team, override subsystem safety 2, and being fired well. Now, quite a few, depending on how people aren't particularly keen aren't always keen on the override subsystem safety. I'll show you right here. You get 20 seconds of high power. I mean, if I can chuck power into it, and everything, ship pieces get a lot of power weight on where it needs to go. But as soon as that does it, it drops down. But some other stuff will override it. Will quickly fix out the the override subsystem safety issue. I mean, that's just, I'm also running just yeah, sorry, yeah, and fire at will 3. This allows you to do a lot of hits a lot of enemies around you. And as for the engineer command, that's I've got constrict firepower 1. That's just click it to apply to. You can apply to enemy. If I could easily swap this to engines 1 or immense power to engines 1 or immense power to shields 1 if I so wish, and it's a decent option there. Auxiliary to battery, I've got 2 of these on both engineer slots. These are basically what makes our cooldowns a lot quicker. So obviously everything here is taking the time, and then as the next one comes, everything starts going on to effectively global or near global. And then it's killed our weapon power for a few seconds, although that's what the override subsystem safety did. And now we've got suppression barrage 3. There is 2 walls fitting that slot, but suppression barrage 3 will basically debuff a pile of enemy targets, and it's pretty decent. Most of the rest is just standard, what I call the standard heal up set. So I've got engineering team 1, hazard meters 2, and science team 1. All relatively common stuff for debuff, for heals up and stuff. And as for the 07 here is my usual stuff to is a what I recommend for a pot for the build, because Expert will only trigger once the only active or built-in cooldown. So I also point out that I've got 3 technicians. These are all these aren't. These are all ones that I've got available after a long time, because this is, and the rest of these are archive from various other stuff in the past. So always be good. Alright. Anyway, this has been Mike Sharkwriter. There's one thing I forgot to mention. Whilst there's Rule 10, there is also a friendly Rule 34. And no, it's not about porn. And here we go on to the paying considerations. There's not much more. Most of these are pretty common for anyone who's actually seen some of these videos. For me, it's got to be mentioned weapon cycle for the Arbiter, Kurakar, Morgu. Depends. All those ships will give it to you, given that we're using directed energy weapons, basically. And it's probably a few things which I strongly recommend in most cases. While on beam here, the ship can use cannons and therefore use within barrage within a scatter volley build. Of course, I could always recommend the Gagarin or the Q's in tactical matrices for its very nice ability to get a lot of torpedoes and fire wheels out. And well, I just because whilst I can't think of anything better at the moment, I've also included the Lobby Star's bomber effect. It's a nice thing to run to boot, drop, kill down, so it's pretty nice to keep. There are others, but I'm saying I forgot. But but I'm not really worth going looking for them now. I'm gonna type out here again. But anyway, this has been Mike Sharkwriter. See you guys next time.